picked up, we were driving through this light on this road to get on the highway. I just got speed up to about 30 miles an hour.
The last couple of days, he's driven it around the country during the Trump campaign. He tells me he got a ticket for loud music this summer in Canton.
What would it take for somebody, or why would somebody feel so compelled? Clearly something's going on in our nation. So yeah, I mean, we're gonna tell the story of Rob today, and hang with us. Rob's a very unique character.
Not my president! Not my president! Not my president! Not my president! Not my
The rest of the day was for a loud music citation in Canton. After a couple of hours in custody, Cortis tells us he was let out. Got the train out of the impound. Trump supporters are back out again today, continuing the theme from the White House last night that Detroit is corrupt, the election here rigged and stolen from the president. Even if Trump loses, his support here runs very deep.
That she spun into the other black dark little Nissan, and that gentleman.
But he is a very important character. He's somebody that I think that there's a reason why someone like Rob has stepped up. What would possess somebody to make a Trump float semi-truck unity bridge, and what does it even mean? He's somebody that I think that there's a reason why someone like Rob has stepped up, and we're going to check out his store. We're going to talk about why he did what he did and is doing what he's doing. Rob's had a lot of controversy surrounding him, so here we go. It's important to get this documented about why Rob's doing what he's doing and what he's doing, because if you read the local papers and things that Rob's done, he's just getting wrecked and bashed by media. They think he's an absolute nutball, and I absolutely know he's not. So hello? Is this the Trump store? No? It's downstairs? I thought it was up here. Is it goes this way?
Right here. Where did you come?
It's right here.
Oh yeah, it's right here to the right.
Oh, okay.
There's a number on there.
I know. I know, Rob. He's supposed to be here though.
Okay.
I'm supposed to shoot a video with him. He did say he had somewhere to go.
Might be out back. I don't know. He always has someone call.
He was supposed to be here at 11.
What time is it?
It's like 11:30, 11:35.
Yeah, that's right.
So yeah, he's not here. Doing this by myself. This is, but yeah, check this out. This is pretty sweet. There she is, the Trump Unity Bridge.
That car accident that I had in September.
All right, so let's stop right here for a second. I've been waiting for Rob, and it's been a while. It's at least an hour and a half. What he's about to tell you, the last accident he was in messed him up so bad that he constantly has to go to Traction and get his back looked at from driving this Trump Unity Bridge around. So yeah, I sat here for a while waiting for him, but let's just get on with the story.
A lady ran the red light and we smashed into a telephone pole. I have 6 herniated discs, and since then I've been going to therapy 3 or 4 days a week. They put me on a traction to stretch out my lower back and my upper neck because the spine's twisted and caused some damage. So that's what's going on, and we're here today on our day off working. We're helping the military moms raise some money so they can send items to the troops around the world that they can't get where they're stationed at. So the military moms are based here in the same building, and I volunteered to help them raise funds. So we got a whole bunch of hats, flags, jewelry, coins of military, Army, Air Force, Navy, Marines, and Space Force. And I'm going to put that all together the best I can.
Space Force.
And I have to cut some shelves so we can put a display up over at the Livonia Spree where we're supposed to be setting up this weekend.
None of this was planned. This is a day in the life of Rob Cortis, Trump Unity Bridge guy who's doing so much more than a float that he pulls behind his vehicle. So here we go. How you want to do it? You want to go right there? That's all we need.
That's the original Trumpmobile. Here's the new trans, new brakes, new water pump, new everything.
Which one?
Right there. That's this original Suburban. It needs a new motor.
That is the future Trumpmobile.
The original one.
Oh, the original one.
Yeah.
Where? How many guys do you have working?
None.
None.
I mean, I have like 3 people. Like Val works part-time. Jason works part-time.
Okay.
And Jeff and Christy work once in a blue moon. They worked as people when he was just pull up over here by this door.
Gotcha.
And when we were going full time and up through January 6th, I had more people following me then and working with me. That's good right here.
Okay.
People kind of fizzled down because they've America seems to be losing motivation. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
There's people believing, oh, well, we're watching the January 6th trials. They're showing all these different things that everybody said and did, but they only show one video frame of somebody being rough. You know, the same frames over and over.
Yeah.
They don't show a million people being nice.
Yeah, they show. It looks like on January 6th, it looks like, honest to God, it looked like there was like a couple thousand people there. In reality, there was how many there?
Hundreds of thousands.
Hundreds of thousands, yeah. All right, let's get this thing loaded.
These things are fairly light. This is when somebody smashed into us on the highway. These are the letters. These are the signs that got knocked off and scraped up and bent up when the broken off when the Trump Unity Bridge was stolen. South Dakota.
It was stolen?
Oklahoma City.
Dude, okay, so listen.
Stolen it, yeah.
You're a little bit of a madman. How many accidents have you been in?
Actual accidents, I've only been in one. People hitting me driving down the road and smashing into the side of us playing demolition derby on the highway because they get truck derangement syndrome. Maybe 10 or 15 times. I've had a couple semis do it.
Yeah.
And there's like a dent on the front of the Suburban.
So I was going to ask you real quick. I want to interrupt you.
All right.
So listen, I tracked back on some of the accidents. Do you think, honestly, because they're blaming you on all of it, but it seems to me that the Trump Unity Bridge and what you're doing is a magnet for destruction. I mean, even when we protested Fauci, you got into an accident, and that's what the trailer was torn up over there. What do you think?
That was on the way getting there. We were on the way getting there down the road, and a black truck went and swerved and smashed over, causing the truck and trailer to smash into the Unity Bridge. They cut off the
right.
So do
you think people are losing their minds when they see it?
Is that an accident that's my fault? No, it's an intentional act of demolition derby, and what my fault is, I was paying attention, so everybody landed safe, and we slowed down and stopped safely
right.
without any injuries.
That's crazy.
If I would have been the unhinged Trump derangement syndrome and smashed back into him, then that would have been an accident.
Wow.
Or an intentional accident.
So
So that's kind of what happens sometimes.
do you think that it's people, and this is a real question I wanted to ask you, because Rob, go back and look at the history of just the carnage on this thing, and do you think people are trying to hit you, or they're just losing their minds when they see it?
Both.
Yeah.
It depends, different situations. I know when we were in New Jersey, a semi kept swerving into me, and I slowed down, he slowed down, and then he finally hit the front of my car.
Wow.
But we couldn't, and when I took a picture of it with my phone real quick with one hand, and when we took the picture, there was no license plate on the back of the trailer, and we called the trucking company, and they weren't very helpful, you know, and it just never went anywhere.
Wow.
Cutting those shelves for the military mom's fundraiser, and I needed to get out a cut saw. When we're on the
Military moms, Rob, come on. Is that a real thing?
yeah, absolutely 4-star military moms. And
I'm just messing with you, buddy.
so what we do is we're helping them raise money too. So it's not just, it's about America first.
That's right.
And if we don't have our veterans, we don't have our active troops, then we don't have America.
That's
You know,
true.
our Constitution, that's what our veterans fought for, and that's what our troops are fighting for, our Constitution. And we just have to do what it takes to do it.
What did the military think of this? Everything you're doing?
A lot of them love it. Some
I know.
of them can't comment.
Yeah.
They say we're not allowed to comment. But when they're off duty, we get a lot of love.
It's like you added some stuff.
Yeah, we added the freedom over mandates. We put a new sign on the back because somebody smashed into it a couple times. As you can see, somebody else smashed into it the one time, so that's there.
Rob, when did you start doing this?
The day he announced, I started promoting President Trump because I had a personal relationship meeting him before, and I knew he was a solid youth guy, and I liked what he stood for and how he helped me out. I lost my gold bracelet in Las Vegas in 2001. He found it and returned it to me.
Donald Trump did.
Yep.
Get out of here.
Nope. It was a bracelet that my father gave me. And
How in the heck did you get him to get it back to you personally?
I lost it. I called hotel security we were at the pool deck at the Tropicana Hotel in Las Vegas. Nothing. And then about an hour later, I went back 2 hours later after walking around looking, I went back to security. They said a man called. He said he found it by a pool, made an announcement, and they asked for my number and he called me. About 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock that evening, I got a phone call, and it was actually Donald. It was like I found it. I didn't know it was Donald Trump at the time. They said, "My name's Donald, and I'll be." And we agreed to meet at the restaurant, and then he gave it to me. We took some pictures, and then when we left, he paid for our dinner and for my whole crew. We were
Get out of
company.
here.
Yeah, no. So he asked questions like, "Where are you from? What do you do? What nationalities are you? And Czechoslovakia." Oh, that's a good, because I said Czechoslovakia, and he loved it because his ex-wife was Czechoslovakian.
Yeah.
And his sons are part Czech. And so we had a good talk, and then we took some pictures, and then he went his own way, and then I went my own way. And then a couple years later, in 2004, Terry Bomar called me from Palm Beach, and they were doing a children's charity for young adventurers and a fundraiser, and they were trying to find a place in Miami, Palm Beach. So we talked about doing Mar-a-Lago, and we sent an email to Donald Trump, and his response was, absolutely. He set us up with his sister Elizabeth, and we were able to use the Mar-a-Lago for free.
That is awesome.
And then we had to pay for the food and beverage, but they gave us a discount, and we were there, I think, till 2008.
What did you do? You got to piece into this. You got to talk about Barnstormers, and I know that's touchy for you, but tell me how that ties into where you're at now, just briefly.
All right. Well, I learned all my skilled trades at Barnstormer, and before in junior high and elementary school, so I learned how to build, work on cars, fix things, because those things were available in junior high when I went to school back in the 70s and 80s. And in 1988, we bought the Barnstormer, got it going, teen club, restaurant and bar, like a sports bar, and banquet centers. And the bar and restaurant held its own. The teen club always held its own, did good. The banquets kept growing and growing and growing and growing to where we did over 2,000 wedding receptions that we produced. And our specialty was the all-inclusive one-stop shopping, pay one price. It was $34.95 a person. It included your appetizers upon arrival with fruits and cheeses and vegetables, a wedding cake from Elite Sweets, the disc jockey, the bartenders, the open bar, a late night pizza buffet, and then your you had a buffet dinner. More down, we've been closed for 10 years.
Yeah.
So what happened was in 2010, 9, 10, and 11, the fire department and the building department of Green Oak Township were fighting amongst each other, saying that, well, this doesn't meet all the codes because we have the new International Building Code instead of BOCA. And the building inspector said, well, he came here in '88 and they approved it, and we had him build this, and he put on these additions, and in 2000 we had him put on addition, and we had him do the whole outside with fire-rated material and put all the oak fire-rated doors in, and change all the staircases in the building from wood to steel, and we made him put a elevator in for the disabled.
Yeah.
And so we spent over $500,000 in 2000 to get it done, and everything was good. Fire marshal every year did their inspections, police. And then around 2009, they got some new fire department people out of Ann Arbor, and everything changed. And everything was okay. The building director said, as long as, I'm building director, you're going to be fine. And he died May 3rd. It was over Easter weekend, the year he passed away. And about 10 days later, and we had an inspection by the fire department right before he died. And then, and our capacity was still right around 3,000 people. It was a little bit over 3,000 before it went down to like 2,900, which was fine. And then 10 days after he died, within a week or so after he died, they came in and changed all the capacities, wrote me a bunch of violations, and he's not there to stand his ground. So I ended up having to follow the rules of the change, and they wanted in 2009, 10. There was a housing market crash.
Yep.
Where Obama gave money to the auto industry to save them, but he gave it to the banks, but didn't give it to we the people.
Right.
So I couldn't get a loan. I couldn't get money to.
So let's put it into perspective real quick. Your Barnstormers was $1 million industry. You were killing it. You were doing well.
Over $1 million a year.
Right.
Sale, yeah.
And you had give me some venues back then that you had large acts that came in and performed.
Oh well, we did weddings every weekend, and when the city shut me down finally, I had over 100 weddings booked, and I had to deal with all the brides and their families and maid of honor. It was devastating. And then hold on a second. Hello, can I help you? Come on back to the where the truck is by the awning. There's a black pickup truck. It'll be right here. We had different bands out there. I had Alter Reed put together a fundraiser for the Mike Zucchini and Pat Mall when they got shot in 2004. We gave them like 50 grand cash, and we had Alter Reed with Bob Seger's Silver Bullet Band and members of Kid Rock's band. We had NSYNC, Joy Fatone came out and did some appearances. The band O-Town had a party. The day after the Red Wings won the Stanley Cup here in Detroit, they all came out and played paintball next door. We had a private party for them. We had the Dixie Chicks, Holly Dunn, Merle Haggard, all sorts of bands, Screaming Cheetah Wheelies. So all those things happened, and it was just really crazy.
Learning the path as I go. Everybody knows it's spoken on the radio. There is a truth in the lies. There to leave you twice. There's no tomorrow here.
So he's loading some guy up right now in a high-low. I basically have to do my interview with him while we're working. It is like I said, I'm sweating right now. I just got done cutting with the grinder. Dude, he's a wild man. He's nonstop. And I don't know, man. I think Rob's legit the hardest working patriot I've ever met, and has, I don't know, his own agenda. It's just move forward, go. He's high-low driver, semi-driver, machinist, welder, skilled trades guy. I don't know, man. He's everything. Not quite sure where he's at right now. He just kind of disappeared and left me here in the warehouse. Yeah, he could be anywhere. So I don't know. He just drove away, and apparently he's left his high-low here too. And in a world of OSHA violation, I want to see if I can find him. Rob? There you go. Found him.
Put this away.
All right, and then what? Can we finish this interview?
Then we do the interview, yeah.
All right. This was all just the softening, warming up before the interview.
This is just the things that happen in the middle of what I'm doing.
That's right.
The day changes as time. You never know what I got to do until somebody calls.
You want me to meet? Where do you want to meet? Can we go inside the store?
We're going to the float.
All right, let's do it.
Back over here, we have our magnets. We make our buttons here. There's our button machine, our hat press and sleeve press. A lot of American stuff for 4th of July.
How many Democrats you think have been through here?
We're getting more now because they're coming in saying we're voting for Trump this time, and they had to see it. Trump even said that. Trump said the gas prices were up to $5-6 a gallon. They're still climbing.
Would you close down the oil industry?
It falls.
Would you close down the oil
falls.
industry?
By the way, I would transition from the oil industry, yes.
Oh,
I would
that's
transition.
a big statement.
It is a big statement.
That's a big
because
statement.
I would stop
Why would you do that?
because the oil industry pollutes significantly.
I see.
And here's the deal. But
That's
you
a
can't
big
do
Trump
that.
said that the people have to see what's going to happen if Biden gets in, and it's happening. They're seeing it. I'm having people come up to me all the time. Save America. We're voting for Trump from now on.
Pull down that golden unicorn up there. What's going on with that, buddy?
Well,
The unicorn.
people have given us and donated things to help us raise money. So,
Get out of here.
No, so this was those were some things that somebody donated.
So that's not like the LGBTQ unicorn, is it?
No, this is,
Okay, good.
This is a unicorn. This is,
Just messing
this
with.
is the real unicorn.
Oh, nice.
And it's to symbolize that one person can stand alone and one person can make a difference.
Like you.
Yep. And you know the thing about this whole program is when we go out on the road, we go out on faith, 100% faith. When we leave here, we might have enough money to get from point A to point B, but to spend 2 or 3 days there, or to go, when we left Detroit to go to Sturgis, South Dakota, and then we were thinking about going to California. We didn't know if we could go, if we could make it, but we the people, you guys, keep sending donations. You donate for merchandise, different things, and you keep the Trump Unity Bridge alive, because we're not for profit. We're not a nonprofit, but we're not for profit. We're out to get the job done. We just want to cover our expenses, and we don't have any majors. We don't have any sponsors. You know, there's people that give, you know, every time they see us, they give us something, you know, $20 or something, or they fill up our gas tank. But any gas cards, any restaurant cards, anything that somebody could do that they're not using or would like to help us out would be greatly appreciated, because I usually feed a crew of 3 to 5 people. We usually have 2 or 3 vehicles on the road that we have to fill with gas. We have the Trump Unity Bridge, our swag trailer with merchandise and different shirts and hats and things. And then we have a security vehicle. And that security vehicle has been extremely helpful when somebody on the road comes and tries to cut us off and slam on their brakes in front of us. Well, when the security vehicle seals that, they can go in front of that car and stop on the road and we can call the police, and they can go after them and get a license plate number, something that we can't do because we're driving, paying attention. So having the 3 vehicles is very important, and having a crew, and nobody gets paid on our crew. We give them gas money sometimes if there's enough donations, and we feed them. We fill the tanks, and some of the people that travel with us even fill their own tanks with gas because they love their country so much. And that's what it's about. It's you saw me working in the back earlier today, and I have skilled trades from junior high school when I was 12 and 13 years old. You can't even get those kind of trades in high school anymore in America. Anywhere else in the world you can, but the Teachers of America and the Unions of America said, oh, we can't let our people do anything. They have to be ignorant. Let the rest of the world do it. And now what's happening is America's suffering. We're one of the least educated in the world, and we have the least common practical skills. We don't have. How is a kid going to learn how to write a check if they don't learn cursive? How can they sign their name on a check? How's it going to happen? All right, there's things. How can they read the scriptures that are in cursive? All right, so there's so much going on, and there's so much the education system, the Constitution, the borders, just camaraderie, the family values, our infrastructure of America, the water system, the electrical grid system, the gas system, and Biden says we're going to eliminate fossil fuels and get rid of the gas. Well, now all their electric cars are made by fueled engine products. You got to have diesel fuel to move them around, diesel fuel to make the plastic, diesel fuel to make the vinyl, diesel fuel or fuel to heat the metal to melt it. So all these things take fuel.
That's right.
And what President Trump and what the world should be working on is continuing to make cleaner ways to use the fuel so that everything works for everybody. And if you can do that, the world will be a better place.
And unicorns.
Yep, and unicorns.
Trump Unity Bridge, it was in your family. You took it in the divorce.
It was over the river.
Yeah.
I took the bridge, and I put it at the restaurant.
Okay.
The city sued me.
They said it's going to be rusty, so
somebody could die.
So you decided to make a bridge out of it to be a Unity Bridge
for people getting married. I could tow it to your backyard, by your pond, by your lake, by your river, your house, to your park, and then you could get married on the Unity Bridge. And then the Pope made his announcement that said, Trump needs to be building bridges, not walls. And then I went to sleep that night, and I woke up the next day feeling like, you know what? I'm going to be the third Blues Brother. I drew a picture of the name Trump, and then I put in between it like round signs that said, one flag, one nation, one God, America first, build the wall, lock her up, and all the phrases that people were saying to make America a better place.
Right.
And to support President Trump. And then I took the speakers from the outdoor all-weather speakers from the bar store, put them on the patio, and then I figured out how am I going to do it. So I went to the scrapyard, and I looked and said, oh, there's all those street signs over there in the junkyard. There's scrap. So I asked the guy if I could buy them, and he said, yeah. So I bought a bunch of signs. I called the Department of Transportation and said, what is the wind rating on these signs? So they sent me some statistics with this post, and these signs are good up to 160 mile an hour winds. So I said, perfect. If I'm driving down the highway at 70 and I hit a 50 mile an hour wind, it's only 120 mile an hour. And if I'm driving down the highway with this float, I'm not going to be doing 70. I didn't think I'd be.
Right. I
usually do 55 or 60, maybe 65 when I'm on a long haul. But it worked out great. So the Department of Transportation gave me the statistics for safety using these particular bolts and everything. And then the Green Oak Township Police Department that said the bridge had no purpose. Actually, after I had the state of Michigan had it certified as a trailer built from materials on hand, Green Oak Township Police Department certified it as a purpose as a trailer.
Nice.
So now it's certified. It was decertified by Green Oak Township for safety because somebody could die. Now it's certified for safety, that's safe to be on the road.
A lot of people know they know what you're doing. They know about the bridge. They've seen it. It's caused a lot of I think people either love it or they hate it or they're totally confused by it. So what I want to say right now is
more people love it, or more people love it. Small percentage are confused or they're wondering.
Yeah.
But and very few people become unhinged.
You
There's a
said
few.
something to me though at our rally that we had in Manchester when I first met you, because we had to cover because it was at the school. We didn't want Trump, because it needed to be bipartisan. And you said this to me. You said, James, this bridge, that is the president of the United States of America.
Correct.
And I'm like, you know what? You're not wrong. Why would our president, if there was a float that said Obama, would people become unglued? No, nobody would care. If it said JFK, or it said Reagan, or
Lincoln,
said, or Lincoln, or Clinton, nobody would become unglued over that. But this man, Donald Trump, that was the president of the United States of America, has caused so much controversy for people that we were afraid to put it on the school property, that it would divide people. And you're the one actually that brought it into perspective for me, and you said, wait a minute, I don't know if you remember this, you said, James, this is the president of our country.
Right, and what happened was he didn't create the division in America, he exposed it.
Yeah, absolutely.
So he brought it out so everybody could see it. And that's what they were fighting. The Democrats and the politicians didn't want the people to see the point where, hi, we're Congress and we're the politicians that run your country, and you people are so stupid you believe everything we say because we got the media backing us up.
Yeah.
And Trump was saying, fake news. Look, check the facts. And what are the facts? Trump said gas prices go up to $4, $5, $6, $7 a gallon. Trump was right again.
Yeah.
Trump said that if Biden got in office, the stock market would crash. What's happening to all your 401ks right now? And everybody's in stocks, and the bitcoins and all that type of money. It's tanking. Trump was right again.
Yeah.
He said that the people of America. This is where it's really important that he's right. He said the people of America have to see all the failures and what he said come true for them to really believe it. It's got to affect their pocketbooks. The baby food shortage. Over 30 food processing plants in America have had suspicious fires in the past year, so they can't process food.
We might need to fact check that number. I think it's gone up.
Okay. Cows are dying. Thousands of cattle are dying. Oh, they're saying they had heart attacks from heat stroke.
Right.
You don't see whole populations die of heat stroke in a moment. There's something else went wrong there. The pandemic. So what happens is everybody's seeing it, and they're seeing that there's so much fake news, and when the reality comes, they're saying it's not the Democrats, it's all the politicians there. Most of them are full of shit.
Yeah.
They're fake. So it's called the Uniparty. They take the money from the special interest group, Doesn't matter which side they're on, they get paid either way, and then they vote so that it goes through. And then they get paid. They go in normal people with a nice, comfortable living, and then they come out multi-billionaires or 100-millionaires or billionaires. All right? And the Hunter Biden laptop was true. Trump was right again.
You mean the Hunter Biden laptop war that we're fighting over in Ukraine?
Yeah. All these things are true.
I agree. Do you think the communists are taking over our country deliberately? Do you think this is a deliberate communist takeover of America?
Yes, I do.
Okay, that's all I needed to hear. Because I think it's that simple of a question. That's it. We don't need to get into it. We all believe, or don't believe, but we need to say it. We need to start speaking it, I think, that ones of us that, like people like me that believe, that's what's happening.
Communist is one world order.
Yeah.
And
they're pushing us with our finances and everything. But I got one more. The last thing I want to ask you, and this comes from your heart. You've been around this country. You've been driving. You've seen things that most people that sit in their homes and they're not part. I mean, you've seen the Proud Boys. You've seen the Antifa people. You've been in those things. You've been in the thick of it in a lot of instances. Rather than focusing on negative, can you offer us hope? What do you think? What's hope for Rob Cortis? What hope do we need as a nation?
Hope is that people can work together. I'll tell you a story after I tell you what I'm going to do, a real quick story. But hope is where we can put patriotism, we can put work ethic, we can put pride, we can put family values, things like that back in every household in America. Education back in every household, good education back in every household in America. I drove, remember I told you I leave here with hope and I leave here on faith?
Yeah.
Well, we were in California, my son was riding with me, he hopped off in Washington, got on a plane, went home. I drove from Seattle, Washington, through Portland, Oregon, through California, down to Hollywood Boulevard to Bob's Burgers for their Friday night car show that celebrities show up to once in a while. Jay Leno pulls in with his car every now and then. And we got there, had a big, warm welcome reception. And I drove there alone. People met me along the way and caravan with me a little bit, so I had some safety. And I had to go pick up my friend at the airport to ride with me, so I had a passenger, the security guard. And I pulled out, my navigation system took me down the street, a subdivision, through curves and stuff. It was about a mile long subdivision. I get to the end of the road to turn right, and it's barricaded off from construction. And I couldn't make the turn to get through, and there were cars parked on both sides of the street all the way through a Los Angeles subdivision. Normal households, maybe, 2,000 square foot households, 1,500 square foot households, and apartments. So I had it all lit up. The music was playing softly going through the subdivision because I didn't want to rattle the cages of people in the community. So I had to start backing up. And I'm having the hardest time backing up because the cars were close together. Somebody yells out, "Get the hell out of here!" And I just keep my mouth shut. "You're in the wrong neighborhood. Get the F out of here."
Yeah.
And so then pretty soon I got on the microphone and said, "Hey, I want to get out. I want to get out of here just like you do, but the road's closed up there and I need to back up. Don't hit my car." And then now there's like 20 people out there. Then there's 100 people. By the time I got about a quarter way down the block, some guy came out. His wife yells at me, and I said, "Ma'am, you need to stop talking about this so I can back up." And he goes, "Don't talk to my wife like that." And I said, "I'm just trying to back up." And then he goes, "I'm going to help you back up." So he started guiding me. And then the people said, "No, a little bit, pull back up a little bit more to the right because you're backing up and there's a curve in the street. And there's cars on both sides."
Yeah.
And I backed up about a mile to where the cross street was. And then I got to this, I was able to pull forward and drive away. But before I did, I got on the microphone and said, "Hi, my name's Rob. I'm from Michigan. I'm driving the Trump Unity Bridge. We've traveled over 300,000 miles across America. We've been to 48 states. Today I'm here in your subdivision, in your community, hoping that we can all learn to unite and share positive messages." What I'd like to say is I'd like to say thank you to everybody that helped, because when I got down here, I was in an area that I was nervous. I didn't know I was at. And you guys helped guide me through a difficult situation. And together, I can go now and you can have your peace and we can all be happy. And that's what I'm all about. If anybody would like one of my flyers or bumper stickers that has a little information about our story, come on over and get one. About 70% of the people came over and got one. And and I said, now the next big thing we need to do is, if Congress could work together the way we did, America would be a better place. And that's why they came over, because we worked together and we had got the job done.
That's awesome, dude.
So that was in California, LA.
That's awesome.
And there's Hispanics, there was blacks, there was men, women, older people, and a lot of haters, but there's a handful of lovers too.
Yeah, a lot of unicorns. All right, well, that concludes my interview with Rob. And my final thoughts on all this is that Rob does have a heart of gold, and he is doing something good. He is trying to bring unity. And I think that my biggest thing as I'm just going through this journey myself of trying to speak out and to speak up, I think that the one thing we all need to remember is that we need to open our mouths. Rob's doing that. The guy is unabashedly supporting our one president that tried to stop everything that we're witnessing right now from happening. Kudos to you, Rob. My hearts and prayers are definitely with you. Rob needs volunteers all the time. The guy's doing this on his own. I mean, and he's done a lot. He can't even afford gas right now. And if you look at the charities that he's supporting, he actually does help people. He showed up to our event and just killed it with the sound system, and we would have never had that. Anyway, you know, follow me, hit the like button. Tell me what you think in the comments. So thanks for watching. And Rob, dude, keep doing your thing, brother. We got your back, man. You seem like just a diamond in the rough. But, dude, you are definitely what this country needs. And you have backbone, brother, and we support you. Thanks for watching.